The views and opinions expressed on this program are solely those of the host and guest and do not reflect the opinions or policies of the station, its owners, or its advertisers. All content should be considered editorial in nature. Listener discretion is advised.
Recorded live from the radio studios of WFAY and WMRV, Androlonis Media presents Cumberland County's smartest hour of talk radio. Welcome back to another edition of the Carolina Cabinet.
Well, everyone, good morning and welcome to the Carolina Cabinet. I'm Peter Pappas. I'll be your host this morning. We are proud to be the only homegrown conservative talk radio show in the region, and we know this is the smartest hour of radio. Our job is to give a voice to the conservatives of Fayetteville, Cumberland County, and beyond. You're listening to us on WFAY 100.1 and The River, WMRV 106.5. This morning, we welcome host of the Cabinet, Pastor Joshua Goodman.
Good morning, family.
Good morning. Welcome. Just cut off my guest this morning. And welcoming special guest, Paul Williams, running for City Council, City of Fayetteville. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Doing well. It's good
and
to
he's
see
got
you.
a great radio voice.
He does.
You hear that?
We're going to make some commercials after. So we're going to dive into our show. We appreciate you tuning in and spending time with us this morning. Please take a moment to like, share, or follow us on Facebook and look at us on thecarolinacabinet.com. And you can find links to our shows and how to listen on your favorite podcast broadcasters. Don't go far. We'll be right back.
In 2012, Joshua Goodman has been the senior pastor at the Cliffdale Christian Center, a dynamic church and ministry located in West Fayetteville. Join our friend Pastor Goodman for a podcast or a live sermon in person at 6427 Cliffdale Road. Now for today's good news. Here is Joshua Goodman.
Well, good morning from the All-American City. This is Pastor Josh, and have I got some good news for you. In a time when so many want to unpack, talk about, and discuss all the problems, circumstances, and situations, all the negative junk, I'm here to give you some good news. So check it out, friends. This past week, we did our annual vacation Bible school at Cliffdale, and I've got to tell you, this is the first time we've actually been able to put it together and do it since COVID. What an amazing time. To walk into our log building and hear the children laughing and playing, praising and praying. Man, just what good stuff. I can remember going to VBS with my cousins when I was a kid. Literally, we made lifelong memories. I could call my cousins up today and say, hey, do you remember when we were in VBS and such happened? I told all of our volunteers before we started that was what we were doing this week. That we were making lifelong memories in these children. What a great honor it is, knowing that you are part of something that a child will never, ever forget. Jesus says in Matthew chapter 18, whoever receives one little child like this in my name receives me. Whoever causes one of these little ones to believe in me, or that believes in me, to sin, if you cause that little one to sin, it would be better for him if a millstone were hung around his neck and he were drowned in the depths of the sea. Wow, guys, some very, very hard words. Jesus said it would be better if you cause one of these little ones to sin, that it's better that you have a millstone. I don't know if you've ever seen a millstone, but those jokers are like 4 foot around, like a foot thick, and they're all granite. And he's saying that it would be better if you cause one of these to sin, it would be better for you to have that millstone tied around your neck and you drowned in the depths. You know, one of the things I find is oftentimes children are both overlooked and underappreciated. Friend, let me tell you this. Children carry a very powerful anointing. So after we did our VBS, the children helped lead us in Sunday morning worship, and let me tell you, it was powerful. As we as a congregation positioned ourselves in a place to allow these children to lead us into the presence of God, man, let me tell you, they did. and the children will lead them. This is Pastor Josh, and that is your good news.
A conservative local radio talk show that you're not afraid to tell your friends about. The Carolina Cabinet, land of the free thinkers and talk show of the brave.
And brave we are. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Cabinet.
Good morning, good morning.
Good to see you, Pastor Josh, always.
Good, sir.
You know, people wonder why I do this. I just get to see my friends once a week, you know.
And usually there's sandwiches, but again, audience, there are no
well,
sandwiches.
I'm going to blame the producer, Jim.
Yeah.
You know, since he's
I need to
actually
get
wearing
Jim's,
the Baldino shirt
I need to
today.
get Jim's personal number.
Yeah, I'll hook you up with that.
Yeah, so give me his personal number so I can call him before the show. Jim,
he's driving my van. He said he can deliver.
I mean, I'm
it
just
shouldn't
saying.
cost him nothing.
Yeah.
So, you know, hey. So, anyway, so we, we always go around the room and talk about what we've been up to the last week.
Yes.
Because we kind of stay active in our communities a little bit, just a little bit. And wanted to welcome Paul as well. I know he doesn't exactly sit around doing nothing. So, so do you want to go?
You want me to kick off? Kick off, yeah. So it's like I said in my good
to?
news, right? This was.
Can I ask you if they're good news?
Yeah.
So, is that Old Testament or New Testament?
New Testament,
because
man.
that sounded like some old level, tie a stone
Jesus.
around their neck and throw them.
That's Jesus. That's love your neighbor.
That is not daddy daycare.
No, dude. That is hard.
Okay.
But that shows you how special the young ones are to him.
Right.
You know.
How?
Yeah. And so we did VBS and had a great time. Kids, I mean, like I said, you walk in there, it's a madhouse. Kids, you know, it was great. They did this like space theme.
Okay.
So the entire hallway was done with like glittery paper and sparkled, and they had rooms set up. It was
10 years from now, glitter out of okay.
It was great, and this was the first Sunday that we incorporated members of our children's ministry, which you'll appreciate this, into our worship set.
Okay.
You know, as we were coming into church,
like they get a special segment of church. Okay, that's cool.
And so your girls, right?
Okay.
The Anderson girls, the ones who do the speeches. You
know
them.
Yeah.
Both Morgan and Lauren, they were a part of that team, and they had lead parts in a couple of the songs. Dude,
leaders lead from the front, man.
Dude,
those kids.
It was.
But Paul, so he's referencing a couple of children that they go to Renaissance Classical Academy, and I've been asked to judge their
speech meet.
Their speech meets 2 years in a row, and frankly, those children scared me.
Yeah,
with how smart they. I mean, they are wicked smart.
Crazy.
I'm going to use. I'm sound like from Massachusetts, wicked smart. But yeah, that's awesome. So they come in and they do their. So basically, they are on vacation Bible school the whole week, and then they come in. It's like they're
do their
end of the week
project.
End
of the week thing, and it was and like I said, it was
okay.
I had little Morgan do like this one portion of the last song we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, she tore the roof off. It was so good. You know, so yeah, it was just a very powerful time. You know, and so that my past about week and a half has been centered around making sure that went off. And
see, I always joke that pastor's busy season is like Easter and Christmas, but he has other moments during the year that he's pretty busy. So
have to jump in and do stuff.
You know, it's crazy how that works.
Yep.
You know, you run
dude, I also one other thing I got to do, and then you can tell. I do a lot with people that have addictions and recovery.
Okay.
I do barbecues with local clinics and just a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we hosted this get together on Friday night where we did the meeting and everything, and then got to just hang out and have food. It's a potluck. Everybody brings something, and literally I'm telling the guy who kind of spearheads it after we're breaking down, I'm like, dude, this is why I do what I do, so that we can be frontline, face to face, having relationships, making friends, and so it was both of those things were very impactful on me.
It's not just a Christian breaking bread, but it's a Southern thing.
Yeah, it is.
You know, and it gives you a chance to
hang out,
have that
talk,
conversation.
Get to know one another.
I think I spoke before about seeking counseling or whatever. You don't have to go find a shrink.
No.
Go to your potluck. Go see your pastor. Go whatever. So there's help for you, and there's a
take
community
your pastor
for
out to
you.
lunch.
You guys, you can always feed the pastor, from what I understand. So I have to admit, I said I'm not always on just sitting around doing nothing, but this past week I just did more business stuff. Not as much civic. My usual making people's days. There were a few people displeased with me, but I promise we're going to make everything better and move forward. I did go to the PWC. They hosted They had a suite at the Woodpeckers.
Okay,
So
okay,
they
okay.
invited chamber members to go there on Saturday. Pretty good vittles.
Yeah.
You know, your burgers are better, but they had, you know,
Pretty good.
Segra Stadium burgers was all right. And then past Thursday, I went to the chambers after hours.
Yes.
And just networked with a couple people from like Lumbee Guarantee Bank. There was a couple other ones too, but it was very productive, although it was hot as Hades.
Yeah. Where were you guys at?
So, okay, and I've already discussed this with Ms. McLaughlin, our events lady. Well, she's not the events lady now, but she's the closest one to it for me. I said, I thought we were going to be in the AVEX lounge where the air conditioning was, because I invited people like Laura Musler from the Resource Center, and she came like in this beautiful business suit and high heels, and we're walking in the stadium. She goes, okay, this is outside. I'm like, I didn't know. I'm so sorry. I had her and I had the two ladies that do real estate with me.
Yeah.
Because we were going to take photos. We were trying to do some new marketing. Anyway, whatever. It was a whole thing. We were all like melting. But something good happened, and I'm going to be pursuing them to come on the show. But when I left the after hours, I didn't realize it was Pride Night. I didn't. It's Pride Month, whatever. But that night they had Bunker dressed up in the rainbows and all that stuff. But as I'm walking out, the Fayetteville Pride, they had their little booth there. They were handing out flowers. And so I'm walking by, and the lady motions with the flower, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. You know, it reminded me out of the Airplane movie with the Hare Krishnas. I'm like, no. But I was walking by. She says, may I speak with you for a moment? I'm like, yeah, okay. And she says, she recognized me. She says, I knew your dad, and I really appreciate what you've done for our community. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, you know, you let me know. Yeah, what I've been, you know, but it was just nice to be recognized and being thanked.
Yes,
because sometimes you're out in those things and you can step in it.
Yeah, and you often do.
Oh, often. Yeah. I mean, I like a pro, you know. So, but it was a nice gesture that evening.
That's
I really
cool.
appreciated that.
That's very cool.
But anyway, that baseball twice and work and
good games.
You know, you know what Good camaraderie among the people around me. I don't know what game we were playing.
You know, for me, I love marksman. I love going to a hockey game.
I really do.
I've gotten into that so much.
Well, season tickets over here. Whenever you want to go.
Come home, baby.
I mean, look, again, and Paul, I'll say this to you. You're here in the studio. You're a member of Fayetteville community. You've been here your whole life, right?
Correct.
Where would you grow up? Like Lafayette Village?
Lafayette Village.
Okay, so we're going to talk. My mama grew up there too, so we're going to talk about that. But if guys like us don't buy those season tickets and we don't participate, we are not going to. You can say, well, there's nothing to do in Fayetteville. Well, hell, boys, you gotta participate.
Yeah.
And sometimes that means with more than your keyboard warrior mouth.
Yep. No. Yeah.
You got to put your dollars.
And
anyway,
help support local business. I'm all about it.
I really enjoy the Woodpeckers. It's a good experience. The marksman I love too. I mean, who doesn't like a fight over a beer?
Come on.
I mean, come on.
It's like,
come on,
dude.
And it's allowed.
Yeah, right.
You know, and you're not going to get hurt. So
you can just watch.
Those 20-year-olds down there can do it. So Paul, what you been up to last week or so?
Oh well, we got my oldest son. He just proposed to his sweetheart.
Okay.
So we had a good time down at the beach, letting that unfold. It's a little different than whenever I proposed to my wife. It's kind of private. I think it's the way it used to be, but now it's more. Kind of like the baby reveal.
Instagram family style. Okay, yeah, these youngins, man, they don't, you know.
But we enjoyed ourselves at the beach, so had a good time for a few days there.
Okay, what beach?
Topsail Beach.
Topsail, okay.
North Topsail.
My parents have a place there. I haven't seen it in 2 years because I'm too busy doing all this.
I got a friend that's got a place in Topsail, and they're like, when are you going to go use them?
Well, I don't. My brother uses it more often than me. So,
other than that, we do perfect game softball, so we're big into softball. Big softball family.
Okay.
We got a daughter who's an assistant DA, and she also runs Perfect Game. Perfect Game is new to North Carolina, and as far as softball goes.
Okay.
So she's been given the option to establish it not only North Carolina but Virginia and South Carolina.
Well, it sounds like we need to have her on to explain that better.
Well, she could explain it better. I'm just kind of like the leg guy.
Okay.
I'm the dad.
You're the worker guy.
Mary's dad is what they call me. They don't call me Paul. They call me Mary's dad.
So Mary's dad.
Yeah.
So you grew up here, Lafayette Village.
Yeah, correct.
Okay. Yep. What street in Lafayette Village?
Ponderosa, right across from J.W. Coons Elementary
School. My mom grew up on Palmetto Lane.
Yep.
Okay.
So that's the little cut back
there.
Know
them well.
Neighborhood's making a comeback. I think a little bit. It's been turned over once, and now we have some nice homes and people taking care of it. It's nice to see it again.
Yeah.
So where'd you go to high school? And
went to Douglas Byrd after elementary school there at J.W. Coon, junior high, and Douglas Byrd senior high, and went to Fayetteville Community College. School and me didn't get along too well. Some reason or another, the roofing and being out in the sun 100 degrees did. Don't ask me why. I guess because you grow up with as many brothers as I did. I was like the second to youngest.
How many siblings?
9 boys, all boys. Yeah. So I'm second youngest, so I got
y'all
dropped
didn't have a farm.
You got beat up
How did you
a
grow up
lot.
in Lafayette Village?
I got dropped on my head quite a bit.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't need a hard ass. One reason.
We didn't ask why you're getting in politics, Paul. We're not there yet. Okay, so let's give it time. But all right, so 9 siblings.
Correct.
That's impressive.
That is awesome.
Your dad really didn't care for television at all.
Well, they were Catholics, and they were hoping and praying for a girl. And I guess after 9, they decided it was time.
You got no sisters?
No sisters, dude.
Oh my
9
God.
boys. Can you imagine being the second to the oldest or youngest?
Yeah.
Your poor mother.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, wow. All right. So Douglas Byrd Junior and Senior High School.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the roofing comment, I guess.
I started my roofing and guttering business. I was 23 years old, so I've been doing it almost 40 years.
And what's the name of it? Shameless plug.
Yeah. Paul Williams Roofing and Guttering Service.
There you go.
Yeah.
He gets an A for originality. That's for sure. Right there.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You got a name, stick to it, man.
Yeah,
It's
Well,
all right.
if you're going to stand behind your work, you might as well put your name
Put your
on
name
There
on
you
it.
go.
Mike Flesher, the former pastor at Manna, used to make fun of me all the time. He's like, Cliffdale Christian Center, what? You afraid to lose your church?
Right,
I'm
right.
like, come on, man. It's where we're at, okay?
Well, I had an employee a long time ago. He's like, you always wear Baldino shirts.
Yeah.
You never wear like Nike or whatever.
I'm like-
He says, you always fronting for your own brand. I said, that's right.
Hey.
Why am I going to make these
That's
guys
okay,
rich?
that's
you know?
okay.
Yeah, somebody's got to.
Yep.
Yeah. Although I'm rocking some other brand today.
Yeah, I don't know what the
but
elephant
I got
is.
Jim representing. So,
Yep.
But at any rate, so all right. So you and school didn't get along. Opened a roofing company. You've been doing it for like 40 years.
Yeah,
I
that's
like the
correct,
expression
yeah.
on your face when you're doing the math. You're like, it's like he has that moment.
Uh-huh.
Like, has it really been
That long?
It's like, how old are you? I am.
Oh.
You know.
I just turned 62, so that
Okay.
it ain't quite 40.
Okay. Okay.
Close.
So. So you're a little younger than my mom. You wouldn't have known her then, I guess. She's got 8 years on you.
And
Yeah.
I started my first job in Fayetteville. I was 15 years old, was in roofing
Oh,
with the old guy named
long enough to know
Yeah.
you didn't want to do it.
Well, Calvin Temple was the guy's name
Really?
I worked for. Yeah.
Really?
You know Calvin?
Calvin saved my life.
Really?
Yes.
Dude.
You want to know why I don't go up and inspect roofs any longer? Yeah, because we're on an industrial roof, Calvin and I, and
dude.
the skylights kind of blend when they're old. And I almost stepped on a skylight
Really?
and fell 30-some feet. Calvin grabbed me, and I said, you know what? Send me pictures.
Yep.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm not, because I got to be accountable, right?
Yep.
I got to, before I pay that bill,
Yeah.
I got to go check
Gotta
out the
go.
work. Luckily, they have drones and cameras now.
Woo,
So, yeah, but
that's good.
No, Calvin's a great guy.
Yeah. Oh, I love him. And so I grew up with his kids, and
Okay.
and he was my first job, and that lasted all of a week. And I was like, yeah.
Yeah, he always told me he couldn't find a good help. I guess
Yeah,
it's
no,
time
I was
with you.
it.
That
I
on the
was
way
it.
down,
I was
yeah.
like, Calvin, brother,
Yeah.
I appreciate you. So, and I grew up in construction, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my father was a carpenter, my grandfather a stonemason. The
Christian
hardest,
men, all carpenters,
the hardest of all the construction is roofing.
Yeah.
That is the most difficult, labor intensive.
Mm-hmm. So how much help do you got, Paul? Like, how's that?
I think we run them all off.
There you go. Attaboy. Okay. I expect nothing less.
We're actually just doing gutters now. We phased out of the roof, and it's too
really?
it's too hard to find people who want to work.
Yeah.
My Spanish isn't nowhere near as good as my English.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of limited on.
Well, you just say "Quién es el jefe?" and "Dónde está la biblioteca?"
No, dude,
and
not
whatever,
the-
I don't. That's
Wherever
about
the
all I got.
library is.
Yeah. Where's the library and where's the boss? That's it. Well,
No
I
comprende goes a long way.
okay. So you've been doing it 40 years. You had all that stuff going on. Now you've kind of contracted a little bit with your career.
Yeah, I first got in politics over 20 years ago when me and the wife first acquired our commercial property there on Southern Avenue in Massey Hill.
Okay.
And once we got that property, then we started hearing about the city council wanting to propose sign ordinance, a fence ordinance, a landscape
Oh,
ordinance.
yeah.
And I'm thinking, we're lucky to pay our mortgage. In fact,
Yep.
after I got elected, I told a council member that, y'all overlook the smallest of the businesses,
Yep.
what I call the saplings. You squash them before they even get out the ground. And his response to me was, Paul, if they're that hard up for money, maybe they shouldn't be in business. And my mouth kind of hit the floor.
What?
What are you?
Well, that was in the era when we had, I'm sure we had an elected official that said something like, we need to bring more jobs, not just flipping burgers.
Mm-hmm.
I think my mom and dad really enjoyed that comment from
Yeah.
you. But so property owner, family man, how many children?
Me and the wife, we had 6. We lost one to stillborn, lost the oldest son to overdose. The next one is a son as well. He's in computers. He was a probation officer for a couple of years, so he's in law enforcement. But now he does computer work. And then next, I got three daughters. My oldest one is an assistant DA, and she's doing perfect game.
Where is she at? Is she
Alamance County.
Alamance. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Greensboro. And then the next one down was Heather. She was murdered January 5th of this year.
Oh, wow.
But we were very blessed to have her for 10 additional years. She got hit by a car up on Yakin Road in 2015. And to have her a day, much less 10 years, been very thankful. In fact, that's really what gets me by every day is being thankful for what I have. And it keeps me mentally sane.
Yeah.
And I think that works for everybody. If you're grateful for what you have, and instead of complaining about what you don't have, you're going to find your day goes so much smoother.
That's the truth. So,
anyway, then I've got my youngest daughter. She did 3 years in the military, and she has we have a wonderful grandson, and she's married to another military guy who's from Puerto Rico. So he's got another year or two, and he'll be moving. So I won't have anybody left in Fayetteville but me and the wife.
Oh my, empty nest.
Yeah,
that's why he's going to get into politics.
Yeah,
hey, he's bored.
Yeah.
See, he's got nothing going on. So yeah.
Well, I have a desire to leave my hometown. I've been here all my life, but I don't want to feel like I'm being pushed out.
You want to go on your own terms.
That's right.
You want to retire. I'm with you. I get that emotion. I'm with you on that.
Before I turn around, I like to at least what I like to say is fight.
Yep.
Okay. So definitely rooted in this community. It sounds like you did a heck of a job raising children, even though Heather had her issues and things happened to her. It sounds like you really, as parents, you really worked hard. I mean, you got an attorney, you got a military spouse. I mean, you got
it's been a full time. It's been a full time job. And
what are the age? What was the age ranges like from first to the last? What was
well, the oldest one, Joseph. As far as how old he'd be now, the difference in age, they're all pretty close in age. In fact, we tried to make it that way. We didn't want to have distance so they could play with each other. So, So, anyways.
How long ago did you lose Joseph?
It's early 2015.
Okay.
And then 10 months later is when Haley got in a wreck. She was mourning the loss of her brother, and to a point to where she wanted to go be with him in heaven, decided to take a couple Adderall. I say a couple Adderall. This before she decided she wanted to go to heaven with him. She sat down and do her homework and took a couple Adderall.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, and that had a negative effect on her after thinking about her brother and wanted. Then that's when she got that great idea. So she took the rest of the bottle. That didn't work. And needless to say, a few hours later, she was out leaped out in Yakin Road, leaped in the path of a car. And 2 witnesses there at 11:30 at night. That was a miracle in itself. But for her to live after they said they'd seen her hit, and her body went as high as telephone poles. I figure half that distance probably kills most people just laying out on the road.
Yeah.
So we've been very, very blessed with even the worst situations. I'd always try to smile, and a lot of times I would find myself telling the wife that between me and you, I know we're smarter than Heather.
Yeah.
She had some brain injury, but there was a lot of her brain that was clicking.
Yeah.
And that was a common statement. We had between me and the wife, we could be smarter than her.
Yeah. Well, the reason I ask is because I've got a daughter who has addictions, is in jail, and have been walking with her through this. Yesterday was her birthday. For the past 8 years, she was into drugs early on, but her husband committed suicide, and at that time she took it from weed to heroin to fentanyl to everything, and she's been incarcerated for about the past 8 months, and it was interesting because yesterday was her birthday, and there are a lot of negative stories we can sit around and tell. All of my family's got one. Every member of my family, and we made the decision yesterday on her birthday. We were going to celebrate her birthday, and we did, and we went around and all told happy memories. And I told my wife as we're sitting in bed last night, I'm like, that was very challenging for me because I've been very close with her as she's been walking through this, and I didn't have a lot of good memories. And so I told my wife, I was like, I want that to be something we do so that we can remember the good stuff. So that's the reason why I delved in and asked that. Hope I didn't get too personal.
Oh, no. It's just, like I said, I thank God for everything. And even when you have tragedy, death, and no matter what the circumstances are, when you thank God for where you're at, you're just so much better off mentally, in my opinion. And I think, again, that's been key for me over many years and the many challenges that you face, and especially being a dad to many different kids, and all the challenges that comes with that.
Woohoo! Got 6 of them. Know all about it.
Well, my Lord. So, all right. So that's a little intro about Paul. I kind of skipped over a couple of things.
Yeah, we didn't talk about our stuff.
We didn't talk about some things that did happen. The RPAC Realtors Association had their Candidates Academy last Wednesday. I didn't send you an invite, and that's my bad. I'm sorry, Paul.
No, you're fine.
So I'll send you the packet. How about that? I'll get you all the notes. But basically, they called in all candidates that want to run for office. There was a couple people who want to run for mayor I'd never met before.
Really?
One of them works at Day Resource Center.
Okay.
But basically, it was open for all candidates.
Do you know?
I'll
Okay,
offline.
that's some of my circles.
I don't know if she wants to announce yet. So
no, okay, that's sorry, I shouldn't ask.
It was. I'm not sure yet, but I'm sure she wouldn't mind the free plug. But basically, it was open for more than just realtors. It was anybody in the community interested in running. The realtors have an interest in putting forth good candidates that are professionals and have a good presence. So that was kind of the nuts and bolts. Now, August 2nd will be the Greater Fayetteville Chamber Candidates Academy, and that will be where, as government relations chairman and also me at the chamber, we're going to be inviting people in as candidates to tell you kind of how all this stuff works. Yeah. From the county to the city, how to write a press release, how to identify needs and wants as an elected official. So it's
going to be truly a candidate school. This is how you be a candidate.
Look, the interest of the Greater Fayetteville Chamber or Longleaf Pines is we need professionals in the seat. And then whether they're professional or not with a master's degree, we need people that can add 2 and 2.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that Paul can add 2 feet and 4 feet make 6 feet of gutter. Yeah. Okay. So that's a very basic thing, but you'd be surprised.
Oh no, I've met some of the candidates.
You have to. Some of them, it's like, who ties your shoes, son? But it's imperative that they can do some basic stuff like that for the good of everybody. So that's coming up. North Carolina legislature last week. Did you see anything on the news about the shrimpers?
I didn't, but when I saw it on the notes, I was like, talk to me about this, because that's the water's my thing.
Did I put the bill? It was HB 442. And what it was a House bill that they wanted to ban shrimping within a half mile of shore.
Okay.
And 2,000 shrimpers from the coast went to the legislature. And I didn't have a chance to get the names before showtime, but there were 2 House members that got death threats.
Really?
Yeah. I mean,
those shrimpers. Hey, dude, look, you don't want to mess with those.
You're talking family business, generational. They were not having it. So they, with their advocacy by showing up, and that's why I wanted to tell this story, because people showed up. Yeah. Changed the minds of the legislators to go ahead and they killed it, but I'm going to air quote that. They put it back in committee. Yeah. So it's possible, if they get enough agreement, that they could bring it back out of the rules, but it's essentially dead.
And I mean, so shrimping, that is something you got to do close to the coast. I mean, that's done inland, not deep sea. You go deep sea fishing, you catch grouper, whatever.
That's right. But they made an argument. The people that sponsored the bill made an argument that it was impacting the environment. Yeah. And it was.
And it does a little bit. Yeah. Because what takes place is the shrimp nets, they can keep whatever comes in because they're commercial. Mm-hmm. So if you have, say, a fisherman that fishes out on a pier and the shrimp boat comes by, I mean, he's taking not just shrimp, he's taking the flounder, he's taking the whiting, he's taking everything. And from that standpoint, it does have
negative.
Well,
look, I'm not an environmental lunatic, but I will say, if we can protect our, I mean, maybe it's a matter of protecting future generations, livelihoods by slowing it down. But I think this is just an all-out ban,
and that's too far. I mean,
these guys just
select, portions of coast. I get that. You have park areas or.
There's got to be a better way.
Don't you
have to have a license to go fishing commercially anyway?
Everybody does.
There's got to be a way to anyway. But my point is, advocacy killed the bill.
Yep.
And that is the most important thing. People say
showing
these
up,
elections don't matter. we had Mario on here last week it was 2 weeks ago, I think, talking about, his race was decided with 6 votes.
Yeah.
And a man in Hope Mills lost his seat by 1 vote.
Yep.
So it does matter to turn out for these local elections. National and political climate. Is anybody over everything that's happened in our country yet?
Oh, dude.
With the ICE raids and everything else?
I'm tired of the propaganda.
Yeah.
There is so much.
Well, it seems like everybody on the left wants to follow that narrative that, no one is illegal. You're right. No, God imbued everybody to come here. Yeah, I get that. But did you break the law? Are you here legally or not? And that's the fundamental thing that they want to gloss over is that person came illegally. So from there, it doesn't matter how good of a life they're living.
Yep.
Or they're illegal. So let's figure out a way. I think President Trump wanted to self-deport a bunch of people.
One of the things that came to light that kind of touches me is that, and I don't know, I haven't fact-checked this. My sister said it's true. She said she fact-checked it. So
The Haitians,
yeah.
Yes, that's what I was going for.
Where there's like 10,000 Haitians
Yes.
that in a moment's notice lost their legal status and were turned illegal.
They were supposed to go till 2026 fall, and President Trump has given the order to make it by October 25.
Okay.
But if they self-deport, they will get a plane ticket and they'll get $1,000 when they land in Haiti. And I know that's troublesome for you,
Dude,
especially
that is.
because you know why they fled
Haiti,
because we talked about that about a year ago here. You grew up there on the mission field, so
and,
you know
and,
how.
And it is so much worse now than even when I was there. Gangs literally run the country, and so it's one of those things where I'm allowed to disagree with decisions.
I am concerned with.
I disagree with that decision because it's going to put those individuals in harm's way.
I agree, and as soon as I heard Haitians and self-deport, I'm thinking, we're going to talk about this. It's a dangerous thing, but I'm hoping there's another mechanism for them to maybe seek asylum. See, that's the other thing. They're immigrants on a certain status, but that doesn't mean they can't apply for asylum.
Yes.
So there's still that mechanism of our government.
I'm sure there's a loophole somewhere. I'm sure there's some,
if you're going to pray for anything this week, let's pray there's a loophole.
Yep.
Which loopholes aren't really loopholes. They're just creative application of the law. That's what that is.
Yeah. And they're good.
Yeah, they work out. Tom Tillis isn't going to seek re-election. State Senator Tom Tillis.
Wow.
He's been called a rhino. He's been called this,
he's probably
that, and
tired.
Other. Well, 2 years ago, GOP convention in Greensboro for North Carolina, they spent the first 6 hours on Saturday morning trying to debate whether they were going to censure him or not. Not about what they were going to censure him for, but whether they're going to do it or not.
Yeah,
so he really... Look, he went against Trump on some things. He didn't agree. He doesn't agree 100% with the MAGA mentality. And
Neither
he's
do
paying
I.
the price for it.
Yep, neither do I.
Who really wants to agree with one ideology all the way?
Yep.
I don't think any of us in this room can say, I'm 110% that way.
Yep.
Because then that omits the fact that you can take in new information.
Yep.
You're just shutting everything out.
And it just means you're drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
You believe whoever is speaking to you, you believe their propaganda.
It may be uncomfortable a little bit, but everybody will get over it. So there are 2 people, Andy Nilsen and Don Brown, who are already kind of politicking around the state for the Senate nomination. Both I will have on the show.
Cool.
I met with both about 6 weeks ago. So I plan to have them on. So
yeah, we got this election season. We got a fun-filled.
Oh, well, we're about to get to some fun over here. So I'm going to go to break real quick, and we'll be right back.
Have another cup of coffee and get fired up with the Carolina Cabinet, Eastern North Carolina's smartest conservative morning talk show. Conservative talk radio in Eastern North Carolina. You're listening to the Carolina Cabinet. This is the morning show your daddy wanted you to listen to.
And good morning. Welcome back to the Cabinet. I'm Peter Pappas here with Pastor Josh and Mr. Paul Williams of Paul Williams Roofing Company. Kind of reminds me out of The Office,
Yeah.
Dwight? What was his name? Vance? Bob Vance, Refrigeration.
Yeah.
What do you do, Bob? So, I hope you're okay with a little good fun, Paul. So we talked about your background. Tell us what's making you want to run for office now. What you've been in the public eye already. How long? So tell me about council. How long were you up there?
In 1997, I first ran against Ida Ross, which was a what they call a minority district, and basically that's where government draws district lines because they assume people of color are going to vote a certain way.
Was Miss Ross the one that fell asleep?
Government racism. But I won.
Okay.
And then I'm sorry, your question to Peter.
Sorry, I threw that in. Was Miss Ross the lady that fell asleep on the dais?
Well, I couldn't say. I really didn't.
I mean, I'm not trying to disparage her. I heard stories of back then, and one of the people just kind of took a nap.
Yeah, I'd rather not get into. I'd rather get into the negative policies as opposed to negative. I don't like going personal with people as far as they're personally, but when it comes to policy, I'd be happy to talk about that.
Okay.
As far as what she stood for, no, I couldn't tell you.
Okay, so you ran against her, you won in a minority district.
Correct.
And you served for how many terms?
Well, just one term in that district, and we moved out to a different district, and that was District 6 the second time I ran, which was against Mark Kendrick, and I believe he'd been in office about 20 years.
Is that after the big banks? So District 6 is pretty much where it is now?
Well, no, actually, then it got flipped over to District 5. That's the third term. They pretty much, I ran unopposed after they redrew the districts in the middle of the election, basically. Okay. And was left with one write-in candidate, Susan Rucker, at the time, which she didn't do too bad.
Okay. So there's some hope for Donald Duck.
Yeah.
In the next election. All right. So we've had Mario Benavente on here as a mayoral candidate. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to throw a couple of questions at you.
Let me ask this before we jump in. So what does the ballpark look like right now? Who do we have who has announced for mayoral?
we got one donkey, 2 rhinos, and 1 elephant.
Gotcha. Well,
okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So the announced candidates are Kathy Jensen, Mario Benavente, Paul Williams. Yep. Freddie De La Cruz.
Okay.
And I think that's it. Did I miss anybody up?
I believe
so it's just the 4. I have rumors of a couple other people that are going to join. I got some news about that over the weekend, and
this isn't going to be like a couple years ago when we had like 30 candidates, is it?
This primary is going to be very lit, to use what the kids say.
Yeah.
Okay. It's going to be. We got some work to do if that's what you want, Paul. So, I dropped this one on Mario. I'm going to drop it on you too. Is it the job of the government to raise our kids?
Absolutely.
Speaking about the curfew and speaking about.
What he was successful in implementing, I call it a socialist program, and that is the Office of Community Safety. Mm-hmm. That's a parenting program. I was thinking, I was listening to the new director describe what all they do and all. Said that sounds exactly what I've been doing as a parent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so basically, they put us in a situation where you don't need dads, and then you need a dad. Instead of getting dad, we got to get the city involved with another program. There's one huge problem with all these programs that they enact is they do come with a price tag, and when you're taking other people's money, that comes with a price, and they don't see that. The person who let's say falls a little short on their bills does not nail the city council because they raise their taxes. It's just they feel like they're a failure because the bills are short, and now what am I going to do? And they're usually resourceful enough to where they'll pick themselves up and move on. Mm-hmm. But what the city government, and most city governments, especially when they're what we call blue or Democrat city governments, so they tend to create these problems and come in with a solution that requires more of our money. I don't think I've ever seen a budget in the 6 years that I've been on served the city council in any sense where they could get by with less, but yet every budget year they ask the homeowners and the property owners, and even if when your rent goes up, they're passing the cost on to you. Yeah. People with rent, they don't have a clue. I don't care about tax. I don't care about rules, right? It affects them. They just don't realize that whether it's a job they're working, how much they're getting paid, whether they have an opportunity to even have a job. In fact, I mentioned about the 50-year plan for Glendale Extension connecting to Hope Mills Road. If I hadn't served on city council, that would never have been done. The Circle K wouldn't be there, and the drugstore on the other corner of Hope Mills and that intersection there wouldn't be there. And I feel like going in there sometimes just taking pictures of these people and just making them my poster children or poster adults. These are people who have jobs now because what I did, but if it had been done 50 years ago, we'd have a lot more business. In fact, when these zonings come up, a lot of the people, I call them busybodies, are worried about protecting their little piece of dirt, so they want their property rights to extend down to somebody else's. And when that happens, it hurts way more economically than we can ever dream or imagine. Something called a hidden hand. I think his name is Michael Smith, came up with that concept that there's things that happen when people better their lot in life that you don't see. That's the hidden hand effect. So that
You're talking economics.
Economics,
the invisible
yes.
hand.
Yeah. That's
Okay,
why I want to
got you.
unleash the entrepreneur spirits, because we got hundreds of thousands of people in Fayetteville and Cumberland County area. How many factories are going to lure? But all these other candidates, we got to bring in industry, we got to bring in factory, we got to do this, we got to do. None I'm talking about the people that are here. I got a belief in the people that are here that each individual has a potential of being, the next Elon Musk.
Let me ask you this. So I had a meeting with the ladies at Government Relations. We're going to have a meeting next week, so we get together a week ahead of time to do our agenda. One of the items we want to ask is it's not the role of government to make me prosperous, but what I think the role of government is to set the conditions to allow people to prosper. So you as mayor, what kind of program would you be looking at?
I'll give you an example. If I'm not mistaken, Hope County.
What you going to do for me?
Now, Hope County's got some issues with development, from what I understand, because they don't have the water. But
Big
yet
time.
they've got water. They've got a nice aqua center over there.
Uh-huh.
I hope they're proud of it. But they have no business
they
being
can't-
in the
so,
entertainment
to my
business. They're
knowledge-
government. Where does it stop? That's up to family, friends. That's up to the private sector. When the government starts picking winners and losers, baseball stadium, why not a football stadium? If the baseball stadium's going, where's the football stadium? Where's the softball fields? I mean, we got to have the professional softball here as well. I mean, that's new. We got to be on top of it. We can't let elected officials pick the winners and losers, because they have nothing in the game except their political future, and they will always side with what would keep them in office, not what's in the best interest of the whole community.
So what kind of program, or what do you see that's going with the city that maybe you can improve or bring something new to make it that I want to open another restaurant?
If we can turn the tables, instead of ignoring criminals like we do and giving them the road, the county don't even do traffic stops no more. City wants to put them in school, and it's crazy to have a sworn officer sitting in a school all day. That's crazy. We need to get them back on the streets, and we need to when people get charged and they go before the court system. The court system, if it is malfunctioning, which I'm saying it is, that makes it just as bad, if not worse, on the police officers, because they got to go to trial. They say, "What? It was dropped. I had all the evidence. Why did they drop?"
Yep.
So
they got to sit there all day. You want to know how I know? Because I've sat there all
Yes,
day.
you have.
Yeah, and then to see these cases that are dropped for no reason at all, it discourages the police officers. The only way the police officers in this community are going to be respected again is if we get as many back on the road as possible, quit what I call defunding the police in an indirect way, and that's what they've been doing. We got personnel hiring office, and they're doing a poor job hiring the police. We need to replace them with the personnel director. Replace them. We need to have our police fully staffed. We need to have the roads checked for these people, the criminals, before they get to their house. I think what's happening is a lot of them are going out committing 5, 10, 15, 20 serious crimes before they finally get caught. Now, we got you. Oh, we got all these other charges. They're going to stack them up. Well, the DA gets a hold of it and say, okay, we just need you to plead to one. We'll drop all the rest. Great.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? Now 19 people didn't get justice. You only got justice maybe for one, if you got that at all. So if you overlook the district attorney's office and the judges that are controlling what I call catch and release, you're never going to fix our crime problem. So that's what I would do, is first keep them out of schools, put sworn law enforcement officers on the streets, as many as possible. I would definitely do away with the Office of Community Safety, $3 million for parenting. I want to call it Big Brother program.
Okay.
And there might be a better name for it, but Office for Community Safety is far from it.
They've been funded for a couple of years, but when we discussed that when
we did.
Mario was here, and we didn't know during the time we were taping, but they have now chosen. I want you to follow the bouncing ball here. They have chosen a director for OCS at this point.
Okay.
Because when we had Mario, he didn't know about it.
Yeah.
He probably did. He couldn't talk about it. So they found a director who is from here, which, hey, that's a great win.
John Jones.
But did you see his resume, where he came from?
Chicago.
Yeah.
He ran their Office of Community Safety.
Yeah.
Now, look, he's probably a great guy.
Yeah.
I don't know him. I'd like to have him here, but
I'd like to have his job.
does it
Yeah,
seem,
right.
Does it
I'd
seem
like to make that money.
We want to hire somebody from the OCS of Chicago. As far as I knew, they had a slight gun problem there.
Well,
Yeah.
You know,
Well, here's that problem I have with any of this stuff, and I think nobody else is talking about it, is that money has to come from somewhere. He said, well, it's only they'll tell you it's only a cent, it's only half a cent on the property tax. Well, it all adds up. It's like the straw that broke the camel's back. Was it one, or was it all of them?
right.
And they would tell you, they'd look at one straw and say, there's nothing wrong with straw, Paul. Put it on that darn camel. We're moving it. So, you're wondering why the camel's backs are breaking. I mean,
right.
You're pitting too many straws on these people. So how do we fix the problem? There's a question you ask, and that is by not having all these rules and regulations burdening businesses down. We need to treat the businesses the way we've been treating the criminals. We need to treat the criminals the way we've been treating the businesses. Simple statement of that would be the criminals have the roads while the businesses are given the codes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's good.
That should be a slogan. I like that. Yeah. So I do know that the city has spent, again, on a consultant, about $1 million to hire a consultant to go through our UDO, Uniform Development Ordinance.
It needs to be trashed.
Well, and I wanted to mention something. You mentioned you bought your property and then all of a sudden the regulations, because as well as I do, when we grew up here, it was like the Wild West of just doing whatever and having signs. So we needed...
if you look at the growth during the time, it was much more than we have now. So what's wrong with having a 500-pound gorilla on top of your sign?
I mean, we all miss Stereo World.
Yes.
Okay, that's what,
I worked there for a little while, too.
You take away ingenuity, people's ability to think and be able to create new ideas whenever you say, no, I can't do this, I can't do that. No, I don't want to do shrimping. They got so many rules and regulations. They just passed a new one I don't want to do. I don't care what Grandpa and Grandma did. I'm not doing shrimping.
So my point is, we grew up, it was like the Wild West. You could do just about anything you wanted. And it was creating an unsightly... And we wanted to have a better feel of community. Remember, we were fighting the instance of Vietnam, and we were trying to change our image.
Yeah.
So the UDO, like many government programs, it started off with a nugget of decency. Great idea. But then it went way too far.
I am of the position that they knew what they were doing. I say they, the people from the outside of this community who brought this to our community. I believe they knew.
We had consultants out of Cary, I think, so...
Well, the point I'm getting at is, if you want to, it's like the old Paul Harvey thing. If he was the devil, what would he do to the children? Well, it's the same way. If you want to mess up Fayetteville, do exactly what they've been doing. Implement rules and regulations on your businesses and let the criminals go. That's exactly how you're going to get where we're at. You're not going to fix it until you change that paradigm, I guess.
Okay.
Where, we've got to ignore the businesses that are there on their own property doing their own thing. If they are a nuisance, that's one thing. We can then do something about it as a council. But just because you don't like their signage, or because you name it, people have all kinds of issues, but city can't be sending them notices. Oh, your grass is too out. Well, I just had a death in the family. I'm going to sit through some I've got the property tied up, and so you're putting more and more stuff on me. I don't want the grass cut. Can you go cut it? Yeah, we'll cut it and we'll send you. But the point being is, the city comes down on the normal people with like a ton of bricks, but all the people that are basically, I guess, a drag on everybody else, they're the ones getting all the services and attention. And the people that are being hurt the most are the least among us, who get up every day to go to work to try to acquire some assets that they can pass on to the next generation.
Okay, so building generational wealth is important. Let's talk about PwC for a moment. The city lost control of them back in 2015 or 16 when now we have a citizen commission that gets appointed by city council, but it's not the relationship was broken by the legislature back in 2015. There's also a need for regulated clean water in Cumberland County as a whole, and PwC is the shining star capable of providing. So as a mayor on city council, what could you do to foster a better relationship with PwC to our county partners, like in Eastover and other places that don't? Well, Eastover has their own water, so it'd be the smaller municipalities.
Well, my focus with PwC will be in talking with them as far as doing everything possible to have the water, the power at properties where people are interested in investing. So if you've got a piece of dirt and you want to invest, having lack of water like they're having in Hoke County is a huge problem.
Oh, yeah.
And who are they blaming over there? People from the past, but that ain't helping today.
So in Hoke County, and I promise I'm bringing somebody on. I know the people that have been like escorted out of the command and commission meetings in Hoke County. I know the aquatic center, they can't afford to run it operationally. I know it was named after a live county commissioner, which normally you name buildings off of dead people.
Yeah. Let me go back to PwC, and what I would do is basically I want them to take as much cost out of it as possible, because they send these people electric bills and they send them water bills. And if it ain't in there, where is it? And they only that they're paying taxes. So we shouldn't have to charge them these hookup fees. It's just like when you go ask to have a property rezoned by the city. What? It's my land. It's my property. I'm trying to provide from. Well, we got rules and regulations, Paul. Yeah, I know.
I
got a friend.
Oh, you learned.
I can vote with my feet too. I can go somewhere where there's less rules and regulations.
Okay.
But the point is when you do that, it has a consequence, and that's the point I was making about the water and all. So we need PwC making it business friendly. So you want to develop a property? Oh, we'll take care of this. We'll take care of that. We got the water meter. We got the power. Everything's good to go. You have any problems with that? Let us know. No, there's no charge. It's in your water bill.
Yeah.
We do not want to be nickel and diming these people to the next county.
Okay.
Because that's what's going on. There's
Well, and there has been a lot of talk between Fayetteville, Cumberland Economic Development to make a mega site, I guess, basically making areas that are friendly to manufacturing, but it needs PwC to be pushed because you have the county, you have FCEDC, and you have PwC, and they all got their own responsibilities and silos, and ain't nobody talking. So would you maybe be somebody to sit them down all three and say, look, guys, this is where we need to go? Would you be willing to have those conversations?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
That's going to be. As mayor, you're going to have to meet with a lot of people and do a lot of talking and figure out what the roadblocks are at. With PwC, I as a citizen of Fayetteville, and if I'm mayor, I would feel like it would be best served that we did not have our grubby hands on their money. Because it will not end well, I will tell you that. So keeping it separated like it is the best way to keep PwC in business and profitable without the city squandering all their resources.
Because I think in your era of being on council, I think they were the city's piggy bank.
Yeah.
And that's what happened with the legislatures. They said no more.
Yep.
PwC will give you up to so many million a year, but that's it. You can't dip in when you irresponsibly use your general fund.
Yeah.
I think is what happened. So here's kind of a softball for you. Downtown parking. Do you agree with it? Do you know how much money we lose a year? Do you think it helps or hurts the businesses? Take it from there.
Oh, well, yeah, it hurts businesses if you limit it on parking. People don't want to be down there. But I think anytime you have issues and problems, the private sector is going to be the best way to address it. That's the reason city council or county commissioner shouldn't be in the entertainment business. Is there's a lot of pieces to it, and if you're a business person and you drop any of these pieces, you're going to pay out your pocket.
Yeah,
so you're more likely not to drop any of these pieces.
There's less accountability when it's other people's money
that's
on
right,
the line.
but
Is what you're trying to say.
Yeah. So if we build anything down there, please don't build it on the beaten path. That's what I've always said about any of these buildings. The police department, they put it right on Hay Street. Why not one block off?
Yeah.
So that can be
Commercial,
reserved.
yep.
The Festival Park, I said, why can't we leave the corner there for a highest bidder restaurant?
Right.
On the corner of, was it Rowan?
and Ray Avenue.
Yeah.
Back then.
I mean, why can't we do that? And then we got the problem now with Gillespie and Blunt, and they got, 9 acres over there, pitted up to the highest bidder. What are they going to do with it? They're going to at least pay taxes on it.
Yeah.
So
They're not going to come in with an investment with taxpayers' dollars that's liable to be jacked up. If you have a private sector go in there, they're going to be more likely to be able to do it. Not with all the rules and regulations. They can do it according to state and federal standards, and we'll be just fine.
Okay.
Not only just fine, I think we'll begin to prosper like we'd like to.
Okay. But along some rails, maybe some nicer signs, and they're all kind of.
We can. I don't mind guardrails as long as it's on your property, and I can tell you what to do with your property. Just don't tell me what to do with mine.
Well, I think when you're young, if you're not liberal, you have no heart. But when you get old, you're not. If you're old and liberal, then you have no brain.
Yeah.
Is the way it works. So as you age, you want things nicer, and I'm definitely at the get off my lawn stage of life.
Oh yeah.
So one final for you is, what's your favorite way to spend a Sunday?
Favorite way to what?
Favorite way to spend a Sunday, and just because the pastor's here, you don't have to say church.
No. I've got a personal relationship with Jesus Christ, and as far as I'm concerned, my Sundays every day, and with me. That's why I think it's so important to be thankful with everything that goes on, because he guides my steps. So I know he can move Fayetteville, he can surely move me. So I give him credit where I'm at, where I'm going, and if I'm not where he wants me to be, then I know he can put me there. So my favorite thing to do on Sundays is what I like to do on every day of the week, and that is just thank God for where I'm at, what I've got. Just so blessed to have such a wonderful wife and kids, and just the life's experience, and even the ones that passed away. The time that I'm just so thankful for the time He's given us with those. It's a very, very big blessing. If anything, I feel like on Sundays I may drop the ball, because we've got something in our Constitution, and first thing it says life, liberty. Well, that life part I can't get past, because I know when life begins, and every one of us go about our daily business while we have unborn babies their lives being taken, and they're most innocent among us. That probably bothers me more than anything, and I thank God when today that don't happen no more.
Okay. Well, and with that, that's Paul Williams running for mayor of Fayetteville.
How do we get in touch with you? How do we
out?
support you? How do we?
Well, the only support I'm asking for is yard signs, and other than talking to people, you can Facebook and do things like that. But I don't want to get too much help. I don't want to feel like someone calls. Peter helps me out. I don't want him calling me, Paul, I need a favor. I'm sorry, Peter. I'm mayor of everybody. I ain't mayor of Peter.
So
can't help you. Sorry.
No quid pro quo. But is there a Facebook page for your campaign?
Yes, my Facebook page. You can easily find it under Paul Williams Fayetteville. I do have my platform and a lot of issues that kind of go with why I'm running.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's fine. We want you. We're going to grill you a little bit, but we want you to talk about the good stuff, like how to find you, and
Yep.
You know. So yeah. So Paul Williams running for mayor. I'm good. So you've been a good sport, and I'm not running my board well.
Yeah. Trying to get it coordinated, Peter. Get it coordinated.
Man, get it together. Well, thank you to my on-air cabinet member, Pastor Joshua Goodman.
Yes,
always good to see you, sir. And Mr. Paul Williams, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for
and
having
on
me.
time early. So
yes.
Hey,
So we get done early.
We get done.
Hello.
So to my audience, I hope you'll do us a favor and take time this week to visit one of our commercial sponsors and let them know you heard their message right here on the Carolina Cabinet. If you do somehow miss an episode of our top-rated show, you can find us on your favorite podcast broadcaster, Apple, Spotify, Google.
We are everywhere.
Look for us online at thecarolinacabinet.com. You can find all our videos and links. Thanks again for tuning in this morning. Until next time, we are the
Carolina Cabinet.